What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Ben here at Galactic News Center. Today going to be talking about the upcoming Star Wars anthology book, Bloodline, and what you can expect from that and just some of my overall expectations of the book. So Star Wars Bloodline is set to come out in May, and it's centered around Leia Organa in the years following the events of Return of the Jedi. The book tracks the accounts of Leia as she becomes a senator in the new Galactic Republic, and also how that parallels the initial stirrings of the First Order. Now, the author has been very clear that this book is not going to chronicle Leia's life as a wife or a mother, but as a politician, and how Leia helped shape the new government of the galaxy. Having said that, we can expect to get some insight into the events surrounding The Force Awakens, and maybe even get a little backstory for some of the characters that we still have a lot of questions about. First off, I think the political premise is a fantastic idea for this book, because that was one of the blatant shortcomings of The Force Awakens that I noticed the very first time I saw it, that we really didn't get any background information on the greater universe at all. There was nothing to explain the current state or the landscape of the galaxy. And I can see why JJ chose to go that route. He didn't want to bog down the movie with political backdrop, but I think the galaxy building as a whole fell a little short in The Force Awakens. Also, the only mention we get of the New Republic was from General Hux as he was preparing to destroy the Starkiller base in that very Hitler-esque speech. We're also not really sure how the First Order came to be as an entity. We know that it was a shard of the Empire, but as far as how and if it garnered support around the galaxy is still unknown. We know from hints of Bloodline, though, that there were in fact some senators who were quite sympathetic to the Empire and saw the rise of the First Order as an actually good thing for the galaxy. So for better or for worse, there was not a lot of galaxy building in The Force Awakens, and I'm glad that we're going to be getting a lot of that in the Star Wars book Bloodline. Also, there have been some questions raised about how Bloodline is going to intertwine characters that we saw in The Force Awakens. For example, if the story is about Leia, it's only natural that at some point, at the very least, a reference to Ben Solo is going to be made, and I'm curious to see if we get any backstory to her son. Also, this book is set before Luke went into hiding, so it'll be interesting to see if we get an insight into Luke's life after Return of the Jedi. With that in mind, I actually don't want the book to focus on Ben Solo or Luke Skywalker, though. A simple name drop would be appropriate. After all, they are probably going to mention that Leia had a son and named him Ben Solo, but as far as character backstory, I don't want any of that in Bloodline. Any information that we get about Ben Solo or Luke Skywalker will only take away from the information that we're eventually going to get in Star Wars Episode 8, so I'm really hoping that they stay away from the childhood of Ben Solo and how Leia could feel him drifting, because I want to see that played out in Episode 8, and the same goes for Luke. I want this book to solely give insight into the larger political scene of the galaxy through Leia's career as a senator, because The Force Awakens didn't really help us out in that department. So let me know what you guys think. Are you excited for Bloodline, and what would you like to see from the book? This has been Galactic News Center. I'm Ben. Thanks for watching, and as always, join me, and together we'll rule the galaxy.